All right, so I want to talk to you guys about why discounting your commission is worse for the seller, not better. Because most homeowners have convinced the real estate industry that paying less in commission is actually better for them. That is not the case. And I want to start off by really helping people to understand this one concept, which is price is simply the amount you pay for something. Value is the thing you get in exchange. So this is where I want to go really, really deep in today's rant. So if price is what you pay, value is what you get, then it would be reasonable to say that value before somebody experiences something can only be a perception, because it's not until after the person experiences the service or they go through the experience, it's not until afterwards that they can look back and say, was that thing valuable or not? So up front, it's all a perception. So first, we have to say to ourselves, okay, how do we position our value up front before the person experiences our service in a way that gives them a higher perception of value? We're going to talk about that today. And then literally why something would be more or less valuable to somebody after the experience. This person is driving like an absolute asshole in my sub, so that's cool. Okay, I digress. Back to value. So let's unpack the beginning. Okay, so how do we position our services as real estate agents up front in a way that gives the more perceived value? Well, when we look at this, we have to think about things like, here goes these bugs again. Always these damn rants. I'm going to figure out these bugs one day. How do we position what it is that we do, or how do we communicate it rather, in a way where the seller perceives that it's more valuable to work with us than any other options in the marketplace? Well, we have to do two things. One, we have to increase their certainty that we can get them their desired outcome. What's their desired outcome? Selling their home at as much money as we possibly can in the right amount of time with the least amount of headache. That is every single seller's desired outcome. And then at the same time, while we increase the certainty there, we have to decrease their risk in making the decision to hire us to do it. So we can do a lot there, and I'll make another video on how we broaden the gap between those two things. So we're increasing that perceived likelihood that we can help them with their desired outcome, while at the same time decreasing the risk. And there's a lot that you can do there. But this video is really about after they've made that decision, why you discounting the commission to win the business is worse for the seller, so that when the seller looks back on the experience, they actually say, the value of that was worse. By paying you less money, that was actually worse for me. Now, let me pause for a second. Most of you are like, dude, how can that be? Well, check this out. Because price is what you pay up front, value is what you get afterwards. When you discount your commission and you are doing the same job that you would do that otherwise you would have gotten paid more money to do, is it reasonable to believe that there's a level of resentment there? Of course there is. So when you discount the commission, not only is there a level of resentment, but watch on the flip side. If someone was going to pay you twice as much money to do the same job, is it also reasonable then on the other side, on the flip side, that you would do a phenomenal job for them? Well, of course it is. And that's like where this conversation starts. So when you charge, or when you discount what it is that you charge, it's likely that you don't give that seller or that transaction the same amount of attention to detail or effort than you would if you charged another seller a full commission or a premium commission, which directly impacts the seller's bottom line. Well, how is that, Brandon? Like, yeah, that's a cute little way to position it, and I guess you're right, but tactically and practically speaking, how is that possible? Well, I'll tell you. So if you are charging a premium, let's just say, and you wanted to prove your actual worth to the seller because they were actually paying for it, you are gonna do so much more than you would do had they paid you less. Like, you might run a private open house event through the neighborhoods and the surrounding neighborhoods, and you may have the best grand opening event because you want to enter the marketplace with a bang. You want to make it known, this is how I come to market with my listings, and it's a world-class event. You have somebody playing the violin, you've got hors d'oeuvres, you have wine, you have some entertainment there, you have really nice invitations that go out throughout the neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods. You have valet drivers. You get the point? Red carpet experience is what you give that seller. And afterwards, that's just one example. I mean, there's tons more things you would do if someone was paying you a lot of money for a service. You would go over all expectations to deliver on the amount of money they were paying you. The same way, if you did something at a discount, as soon as you get past the conversation around them hiring you because you discounted the commission, do you think for 1 second, this is the key thing, do you think for 1 second that they want a discount experience? Absolutely not. You discount the commission, their expectation is that you give them the same level experience than everybody else gets by paying more, right? So the seller doesn't say, okay, I know you gave me a deal here, so yeah, you don't have to do as much marketing for my property. Just take the pictures on the iPhone. It's okay. Absolutely not. The seller still has the same expectation as they would if you charged a full commission. That's another reason why it hurts the seller to charge them less commission and how it affects their bottom line. You're not giving it the same level of care. And when I thought about this, I'm like, man, that is so true. And now I can start to use that framework up front in the conversations to potentially win more business. I mean, I could probably talk more, but that'd just be doing it for no reason. I think you guys get the point. When you discount your services, it's likely that you don't pay as much attention. I'm not saying you don't pay any attention. I'm sure you're still going to do a good job. But on the scale of things, I just believe, and this is off my personal experience, that when you charge more for your services, that you have, this is for good people with like integrity, that you do more to justify that cost. Therefore, the person's experience is better as a byproduct of paying you more money than it would be if you're working at a discount. And so when you go to, the next time you go to discount your commission because you think, all right, this might be a way to earn the business or get this person to list their house with me, or oh, I'm doing this person a favor. You ain't doing them a favor. I see this all the time with realtors with their friends. They'll discount it, and their friends are probably the hardest transactions to get across because their expectations are so high, and you want to give your friend a great experience, so they tell your other friends. When you discount it, always you will have resentment. You will have resentment towards that transaction, and probably towards them forever, because you're like, wow, they didn't even recognize the fact that I'm doing all of this for them and they're paying half as much as what everybody else pays for to get the same thing or better. And then you automatically start resenting them. So anyway, I digress, but think about that the next time you think discounting your commission is you're doing somebody a favor. You're not. You're actually hurting them. Certainly you're hurting yourself, but you're hurting them. Let me know your thoughts on this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.